All right, folks, we already ran up a live session this morning. That was a lot of fun. Forgot I actually got to take my mic off. I just recorded a couple TikToks as well. Put the little mic away. But I wanted to record this update. We got the crypto crackdown bill introduced by Senator Elizabeth I Got a Plan for That Warren today. One of our favorite senators representing us, right? I say that sarcastically because she's one of the worst bankster shills, just a puppet of these guys. And it really shows their hand, how threatened they are, how they want to control it all. They want it to go through. They want to use the DLT technology for their CBDC and to be able to control the peasants. But God forbid we have our own cryptocurrency and our own wallets. I mean, next, I'm surprised she doesn't want to ban us from owning and having a little bit of silver in our vault as well. It's really getting ridiculous, and it just shows you they have no shame. And so we're going to get right on into this update. Let's check the markets here first. And we see that Bitcoin was back down to about 40,240 here this morning. Has bounced back up here in the last couple hours at 41,200. Ethereum hanging out here at 2,200 after clearing back below 2,200 this morning. XRP, same thing, getting sent back down to about 57 cents. This is on the Qcoin chart. So about 57, 58 cents for our XRP. XLM back down to about 12 cents. We're watching that one closely. DXY back down here after starting off the morning hot. Okay, this is your Monday morning candle getting started. It bounces back up here, back down here, and we're seeing as this red candle's coming in for the DXY, crypto is recovering. So I'll watch that. Now the 2-year fell off today, so did the 10-year. Okay, so a little bit of weakness in our bonds, and the oil is starting to recover from the lows that we hit over the weekend, back down below $70 per barrel yesterday. Watching that one closely. Now, I'm going to be scooping up some more silver, guys. I'm not here to give you guys any financial advice. Let me be very clear about that. But silver back below 23 bucks an ounce. Thank you very much. I'm going to be calling up my dealer after I get off this call, and I'm going to be scooping up some more. And you guys already know we got the affiliates linked up down below, or my website, ZachRector.com, for all of our community resources. Silver back below 23 bucks per ounce. Thank you very much. I'll scoop up some of that. And gold back below 2,000 per ounce after that massive breakout to all-time high last week. Just so incredible to see that thing move. Printing a massive green candle up to 2,150. We'll continue to watch that one. The stocks were bouncing back up here today for the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones. Overall cryptocurrency market cap took a big dump this morning. But as we showed you guys, everything is recovering here as we speak right now. Now, let's get right on into this update, though. I wanted to share this. Biden begging for mercy from Jerome Powell. And we see this one shared here by Bloomberg this morning. Biden says jobs numbers should deter more Fed rate hikes. So he is actually asking what is supposed to be an independent Federal Reserve to stop any more rate hikes. Okay. He says the jobs report sweet spot was needed for steady growth. So we are in the sweet spot, according to Joe Biden. Let me know in the comments down below if you think that our economy and the jobs market is in a sweet spot. And he's talking about a sweet spot to deter any more rate hikes. He already knows. I mean, let's be real here. Whoever is supposed to be representing this office, it's an absolute joke. But they are once again showing the hand here. He needs and they need. Let's just say the ones in power, the ones actually pulling the strings here. They need an excuse to cut rates again. They need an excuse to reset everything taking place. And this is coming up on this election cycle where the economy is already looking like it's about to enter a recession. We've had the longest yield curve inversion, I think, in history. The yield curve inversion that is always a precursor to a recession. In almost every instance, we've had the longest yield curve inversion, yet we haven't entered a recession yet. Now, I think if you look at the real economy, it's a different story. But the economists want to debate on that. That's fine. Let's see what comes in this next year. And as I've been saying, he's already showing you, don't raise any more on us. Let's take it easy. Everybody needs to feel good for the holidays, and everybody needs to feel good over the next year when they're getting ready to go to the poll and vote on our next president, this major election that is coming up. Now, in regards to the cryptocurrency space, we have Tether Treasury minting another billion USDT on Tron 1 hour ago. Since November 3rd, Tether Treasury has minted a total of $6 billion. So just over a month now that we've seen here 6 billion USDT printed on Tron and Ethereum, keeping the party going. And it's funny because that just came in this morning, right? That came in this morning that they printed that, and the market was crashing, but now we're starting to see it recover a little bit. So maybe we save the day. Now, someone who's definitely not here to save the day, they're here to sacrifice Bitcoin. They're here to sacrifice crypto while they roll out complete control CBDC system is Elizabeth. I got a plan for that Warren. And if you're wondering why I call her Elizabeth, I got a plan for that Warren, is because that was her motto during her election run, her presidential run. That was a complete joke. Yeah, that was one of her mottos, was Elizabeth, I got a plan for that Warren. She introduces a bill to crack down on crypto. They're calling this one the Crypto Crackdown Bill. Alex Thorne gives us a summary. This bill from Senator Warren massively expands the Bank Secrecy Act, imposing bank-like KYC rules on non-custodial software products, including FOSS, and it's gaining steam with 5 new co-sponsors. Uh-oh. Now, I just recorded a TikTok before I got on here, and I explained how Elizabeth Warren has one of the worst track records in the history of our Senate, introducing over 300 bills in the last decade and only getting one passed. So being sponsored by Elizabeth Warren almost guarantees failure, rejection, not getting passed. But apparently, I guess she does have 5 new co-sponsors, but this is Alex Thorne saying that this would be disastrous for Bitcoin and crypto in the USA. So if this were to get passed, or a version of it, what are they trying to do? Specifically, the bill calls for dramatically expanding the Bank Secrecy Act to cover open source software, including non-custodial wallets, miners, and validating nodes. So this would impact XRP. Those validators on the XRP ledger, they would be impacted on this, as non-custodial and decentralized software cannot plausibly perform centralized compliance functions. Warren's bill would effectively outlaw crypto in America. Take miners or validators as an example. These entities passively add transaction data to the blockchain. While they can exclude known sanctioned addresses, they are structurally incapable of knowing the identity of every user. It would be impossible for miners or validators to perform KYC on every public blockchain transactor. Indeed, it cannot even be said that these entities even have a customer to know. Warren's bill also seeks to impose the Bank Secrecy Act on non-custodial wallets, many of which are free and open source. To be clear, there is no such thing as unhosted digital wallets. These are just wallets. Requiring non-custodial open source software to perform bank-like compliance is the big attack Bitcoin's enemies have always threatened. This is the move against Bitcoin that we've been warning about for the Bitcoin bros. They thought that we could just be down with the banks, down with the government, and now here's the big attack. It's impossible for Bitcoin Core, for example, to comply with this, so it amounts to an effective ban on Bitcoin in the USA. These rules effectively ban crypto in America, and they fundamentally undermine the core innovation itself. P2P digital cash. If you believe humans should have the right to transact without intermediary, you must oppose this bill. Call your senators. This is the big fight. And folks, as I said, her track record is absolutely abysmal. It's terrible. One of the worst in the history of our Senate. One of the most embarrassing tenures as a U.S. senator. She should be resigning in shame for what she has done as her time as a senator. But that all aside, it's not stopping them from making their move against crypto. And it's not going to stop them. See, these guys don't even understand the tech. They just get the marching orders from the banksters, from Jamie Dimon, who's now saying that you guys should ban crypto. Sure enough, next week, Elizabeth, I got a plan for that, Warren. She's executing on the plan, all right. And it's the plan that the banksters have had for a long time, is to come in, Operation Choke Point. The SEC is going to be going to the chopping block with hundreds, if not thousands of different projects that did ICOs. And then that's not enough, because it's not just enough to take down the ICOs and the guys that raised a little bit of money for their project. You actually have to come in here and completely control the broader underlying technology through trying to implement centralized compliance rules for banks to decentralized technology, digital asset, DLT technology, distributed ledger technology that in most instances can't even possibly comply with this. Now, what's interesting though, if you look at like XRP, Ripple, Ripple has already settled up with FinCEN. They've already came in to compliance for Bank Secrecy Act for their on-demand liquidity and the different RippleNet products that they have. Now everything's merged into Ripple Payments, but they themselves can perform these types of rules. So that's what I find interesting, is that if we did get this passed, it might not be a complete death blow to all projects, into all use cases. But I really think that this is what they're doing. They're showing their hand, going for the full swoop, what would just absolutely kill crypto, and then it's going to be reined back in. Hopefully we get pushback, and hopefully they're able to bring this back in. And we really need to have just a simple common sense approach. This doesn't apply to decentralized technologies, so we need to come up with new rules. We can't just expand the existing laws that are on the books to meet a new technology. These are laws on the books that were designed for a banking system that is 100 years old, that is designed for a SWIFT system that's, decades old. We got to have common sense approach as we build out new laws and regulations. It doesn't need to be incredible tweaks either, right? And the simple fact of, should we have KYC on everybody that has silver? Should we have KYC on everybody that, if they had their way, it would be KYC, it would be complete control. If they had their way, it would be the CBDC system that you see over in China, where if you're talking out against Elizabeth Warren and the agenda, we're going to deduct you. Or like they're trying, and guys, see, this isn't a hypothetical. It is already taking place. As we covered this weekend with what the New York governor is trying to do right now in her state. She wants to implement a congestion tax, or whatever the term that she came up with it for is. But essentially, you want to drive a car on the road, you're going to have to pay for that. $20 a day. Literally, $20 a day congestion tax to drive your car. And if they got their agenda through, you want to eat meat more than, red meat more than once per month, you can do that, but there's going to be a tax. You can do that, but it's going to dock your credit score. That's where this goes. That's what's already being implemented out. So we have to push out crypto digital asset. This should not be a political issue. People should have the option to use whatever means of transacting value they want, whether that's silver, gold, whether that's, just bartering. I'm going to bring my vegetables to the farmer's market and you're going to bring your soaps to the vegetable market. What do we need to KYC farmers markets now too? It's just gotten so ridiculous, and it just confirms how big of a threat this truly is to the incumbents and how they're trying to slow this thing down, just like they did with the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit. And now on the other side of the story, on the other side of the world, in Dubai, a country that is leaning in and set to be a leader in this space, what is happening? Well, they're attracting the likes of companies like Ripple that are based out of the United States and would love to, hire more people in the United States. But now 80%, 90% of their hiring is outside of the United States. And now they're setting up financial hubs in Dubai where they're actually respected. And so Ripple shares this. Last month, Ripple Swell drew more than 600 global leaders in payments, financial services, blockchain, and policy to Dubai for conversations on the business of crypto. Here are the key takeaways from the event. Now, there's 4 key takeaways. I'm just going to read these off real quick to you guys. Number 1, Ripple Payments evolves to serve small to medium enterprises. Absolutely massive. Love to see it. It's not just about the big banks. It's not just about the central banks. Small to medium enterprises. And if you guys missed it, I had the CEO of Credify on. Credify received a grant from Ripple because they're one of these companies that, they're not in the United States. They're over in Europe, and they're offering small to medium enterprises loans after taking collateralized stablecoin crypto. So you can offer up your stablecoins, your crypto. They want to do other cryptos eventually, like XRP. You'd be able to collateralize your XRP. But for now, they're just focused on stablecoins. And then they're turning around and issuing debt, giving out loans to small to medium enterprises. So that's the type of adoption that we love to see, right? Credify, I interviewed the CEO of Credify. That'll be linked up on my, if you go to my YouTube, I have my playlists and there should be interviews. And I'll make sure after I wrap up this episode, I'll make sure that it's linked up there in that playlist. That playlist has all my interviews, and Credify CEO was one of the most recent. Now, we also see that Dubai emerges as a global crypto hub. Yep, we understand that. The DIFC, which is the Dubai International Financial Center, advances blockchain adoption in the UAE. It's just getting massive over there. And crypto's crucial role in sustainability. So this is what's so funny, because Elizabeth, I got a plan for that, Warren, right? She's the one who's lecturing us on being good little peasants and not using energy. Meanwhile, she hops off the PJ every time she goes to fly somewhere. But yeah, we should be under her scrutiny. Meanwhile, players in the space like Ripple are showing how this technology can actually help track and follow this. And to me, if you ever want to bring accountability to this thing, then okay, we can have a discussion. But I'm not going to live like a peasant. Meanwhile, we have countries around the world where there's no regulations around this. They are dumping whatever into the water. It's environmental disasters, real environmental disasters, not just, oh, I'm going to ride my bike to work today so I feel good about myself. I'm talking about real environmental disasters, and you want me to give up my car and pay $20 a day in a congestion tax to save the world and eat bugs and not reproduce. Thank you very much. I'm going to stack my silver. I'm going to stack my XRP. I'm going to laugh for a second at Elizabeth. I got a plan for that, Warren, and her other bankster shill congressional puppets. We're going to laugh for a second, but now we're going to go on the attack, just like we've been doing. And just like we got vindicated in the XRP community, this fight's much bigger than XRP, much bigger than crypto. Our capital markets have been hijacked, and our country has been hijacked. We have bureaucracy beast 3-letter agencies that are the goons of this agenda. They come out, they enforce regulations through enforcement, coming after good, hardworking Americans, capitalists that are trying to invest in this country, trying to grow our capital markets that used to be the gold standard of capital markets. And speaking of gold standard, we used to have the gold standard when it comes to currency too. That's not the case anymore. Still are the cleanest shirt in the closet. Those days are numbered. So folks, get tapped in right now with our private group. We've been talking about our investments. Just yesterday, I dropped another tactical wealth lesson on forming an LLC. Get it done so that we can start to build out our businesses, build out our companies to protect our assets, and we got to continue to take action on the legal battlefield as well, right? So on a daily basis here, you're going to see me pounding the table, continuing the fight, even though, as I said, this XRP case gets put behind us, the battle's not over. We're still going to be pressing on. And that's the deal. Even after we see the conclusion of this case, there's still a much bigger battle to be fighting out here. And then on the other side of that too, we will get left behind if we don't prepare to build wealth right now, if we don't take advantage of these suppressed assets while XRP dips back below 60 cents, while Bitcoin dips down to 40. If you think that that's the investment to be made, God bless you. While gold goes back below 2,000, while silver goes back below 23 bucks. All I can do is tell you what I'm doing. I'm not here to give you financial advice. If you want further educational content and to get joined up in our community, it's at my website, zachrector.com. On the way out, I just want to ask everybody, please keep on sharing out our content far and wide so that we can save as many people as possible. The train has left the station. We're still moving slowly. We still have time to pull our friends and family and loved ones that we care about on board with us. So let's get it done. Smash that thumbs up on the way out. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell. Everything else can be found on my website, zachrector.com, and I will see you guys in the next one. God bless you all.